pull up the stuff here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. We're waiting for some people to come in here for a masterclass. Or a masterclass. Or a masterclass. Alright, let's get everything set up. Everything's looking good so far. Alright, we got folks in the building. What's up, Matt? Hey, I actually just got finished watching your video. Just wanted to throw that out there. Your video letter to Chase. Now, excuse me for the crooked screen. It's because I didn't bring any of my filming equipment with me, so I decided I'm gonna go live because why not go live? And if we can have a masterclass live, then we can do that. So since I'm not filming pretty much for the rest of the week, I figured let's do this masterclass live. Abdul Ali World, what's going on, man? Welcome. See, Matt, now you're not alone. But Matt, great video on your letter to Chase, giving them some guided pointers on exactly what it is that they need to do to improve their cards from both the lower and the upper echelons. Now, the reason I didn't advertise this live is because actually I rarely advertise lives because that's the whole point of going live. You know what I mean? It's on the go, on the spot, and I wanted to catch you guys before it got too late on the East Coast. It's the middle of the afternoon here in Vegas, and I'm taking a little break from the festivities. So I don't even think I put Do Not Disturb on my phone, so it may ring, it may not, I don't care. But what we're going to do is I have talked to you guys about airline hubs for all your major domestic carriers. I've talked to you about a higher level of the intricacies of point valuations. So now, why don't we talk about the masterclass, which is cross bookings? Because once you know both of those, once you know the wheres and the how muches, you can start putting trips together. Now, afterwards, I'll go ahead and I'll put a thumbnail that I worked up for this, for a video that I thought I was gonna shoot, but I just decided we're gonna do it live, and whoever misses it, they just miss it. So, let's go here. Let me close some of these windows here, because I'll just pick the phone up and point it at the computer if I need to. JP, what's going on, JP? Appreciate you being here. I'm doing a little masterclass on cross bookings. Now, because this is live, the best part about it is if you have questions, you don't have to wonder. You don't have to leave a comment. Just ask them in the live chat. I would love to answer your questions. As a matter of fact, any ones that you have, we can start with that. So what I'm probably going to do is start here with Star Alliance. So let me close that window. Let me close that window. So I'm going to start with Star Alliance, and I'm going to bring up the Aeroplan board here, Air Canada. All right, let's fire this up. Let me get it started. All right, let me get my little code. So yeah, what I want to show you guys is, because now that you're familiar with hubs and domestics, I want to show you how these domestic hubs can potentially connect to international hubs and some of the best places to find them. So let's go here and here and there and there. That's the code you just sent me. There we go. Awesome, awesome. So we're going to start with Star Alliance award bookings, right? So you know your points value. You have an idea, or at least after you watch the video, you have an idea of how to value your points, and that's for your personal utility. I cannot stress that enough. Valuing points for your personal utility is what is very important. So let's put this up here. Travel. All right, so in Air Canada, you will book with Aeroplan Points, which is a major transfer partner for most of the major issuers. So if we are going to, who do I have in the chat here? Geo, what's going on, man? Thank you for coming through. So who do I have in the chat here that's near one of the airport hubs that I listed for Star Alliance? So for Star Alliance, you have San Francisco, you got Chicago, you have Newark, you have Houston. I believe Houston is a Star Alliance hub because I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head. You have LAX, and you have I think not New York, JFK LaGuardia. No, I already said Newark. Okay, so all right, so then let's put in EWR here. So now give me a popular international destination. Let me do this. So now as you can see here with Star Alliance, right? With Star Alliance, Aeroplan for booking flights in advance is going to be your best bet. They have a pretty stable program with fairly low points costs and also with low taxes and fees. So now let's say, okay, so let's just throw it out there. Let's say you want to go from Newark to Athens, right? Let's do that. You want to do a Mediterranean trip. So now the other things that you have to consider is the timing of the trip. So now I'm not going to do within 2 weeks. Let's say within 3 to 6 months. So let's go to September. Today's the 12th. So let's do September 12th, right? Oh, you want me to do Frankfurt? I can do Frankfurt. Let me know in the chat if you want me to do Frankfurt. Until I get that confirmation, we'll do a one-way reward booking. Of course, we want to do business class because that's going to get you your best. Oh, wait a minute. I got confirmation for LHR. All right, let's change it up. So that's going to be for London Heathrow, right? So Newark to London Heathrow, September 12th, one adult. So let's look at some of the, let's look at the costs here. So sorry if my hand isn't, stable here. But for anyone just joining, this is our masterclass in cross booking. So now, if you use, as you can see here, United is a carrier, Air Canada is a carrier. You see you have your business class, premium economy, and economy. So now if we order this via business class, the cheapest business class ticket is going to be 217,000 points with 44 Canadian dollars. Now here's another thing that you need to understand. When using Air Canada business class, please remember that if you see mixed cabin, find out how much you're going to be in business class. Because it's a business class ticket, you only need to be in business class at least 1% of the flight, and they will sell it as a business class ticket. Do not make that mistake and book it and be in economy for the majority of the connecting flights. So as you can see here, this one's a mixed cabin, but it has 92% business class. But the surcharges are much lower, and they account for that with higher points requirements. But premium economy is actually half with the exact same points multipliers. But as you can see here, like mixed cabin and premium economy, 91%, 91%, 91%. So those are looking fairly decent, right? And then you come down to premium economy here, you find a diamond in the rough here at 67,000 points, 91% premium economy, and only $36, and that gets you a connection through, I believe that's Toronto, but it's going to be a long one. So those are going to be some of your redemptions from New York to London Heathrow. And this is a great way to bypass, if you have the time to travel, this is a fantastic way to bypass those super high fees that you're going to incur coming into London. And now we're going to also do this London trip. Let me find my pen. Do I have my pen? Yeah, we're also going to do this London trip on the other carriers, and I'll show you some of the surcharges where they're concerned. So see, we have that. So let's say we want to modify this, right? 3 to 6 months. Let's go 6 months out. So that's the 12th. So we'll take it to January the 9th, right? So we got to wait for that to go. So now when we go to January 9th, 6 months out, if you take a look here, you have business class, you got two connections, but you have business class with Air Canada, and you are 95% in business class. So chances are that means that this connecting flight between the two Canadian airports is going to be the one that you're going to be in economy for. But the cost is only $44 Canadian, which is probably about like $40 US. And that is going to get you to London if you have the time to book in advance. I always say if you want to book advance with Star Alliance, Air Canada just can't be beat. So now if you look here, operated by United Airlines, you have United Business Class, 100% business class for 75 Canadian dollars plus 60,000 points. So if you have 6 months in advance, that's what you got going on. If you do the lowest reward, if you do the flexible, that means that you want it to be refundable. That's why you have this higher points value. But I would still say that it's absolutely worth it. But as you can see here, within 6 months, if booking through for Star Alliance through Aeroplan, then 60K, it's 60K all day. But now you'll notice like here, mixed cabin, right? 70K. Don't make this mistake because you're only in business class for 11% of the trip, meaning that probably it's going to be this connection from Zurich to London on Swiss Air. So be careful of these mixed cabin bookings. So I just want to show you these guys, right? Now the highest cost is 485K, so obviously you're not going to be paying that because that would just be silly. So that is an example of doing a cross booking to book another carrier from book one carrier from another carrier's reward site in order to save points. So now let's take this example, right? 6 months out, Star Alliance, we want to fly. Let's use this direct United flight. That's EWR to London Heathrow, right? And this is going to be January 9th. That's 6 months away. And I'll put Air Canada, because I'm writing this down, 60K plus. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to go to United for it. All right, and also when you're looking for United award availability, do not sign in. All you have to do is click book with miles, find flights. It's going to want you to sign in, just bypass that. That way you get see, you can just cancel that right out. Andrew, yeah, I remember you, man. I gave you a shout out on my channel. I'm happy to see that you're still around, man. I'm doing cross bookings, showing people how to book across different carriers to save your money. Man, you might want to stick around for this one. Hopefully you'll get some traveling, but I hope you've been doing well, man. I switched gyms. I don't go to that gym anymore. I go to the LA Fitness now. But I hope I run into you again. So here we have on United, Let's look at this flight time is 6 p.m. Eastern to 6:20 a.m. London. So let's find that exact flight. So what I'll do is I'll order the business flights and let's see if we can find it. Here it is right here. So now when we look at this booking on United, it's 80,000 United points plus $5.60 US. And that's just to get you there. And that's on United proper to book United Metal. So now here's your trade-off. You pay $35 more, but 20,000 less points. You know what I mean? If you decide to book through Air Canada, those are your options there. So these new to the channel, heard lots of great stuff about you. Hey man, I appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you so much for joining the live. Right now, what I'm doing is showing some cross bookings for flights that you may want to use redemption points are. And right now, our example is Newark to London. And so far, Air Canada has it for 60,000 aeroplan miles plus $40 US. And United has it for 80K United miles plus $5.60 US. And also, like I said, if any of you guys have any locations you want me to check, please feel free. I'm just doing the Star Alliance, and I'm going to move to One World, and I'm going to move to SkyTeam because I'm not recording any videos while I'm out here in Vegas. So I figured I would just go live on it. Now I'm trying to do my best to hold a camera because it's my phone. So yeah, so that's where our flight is. So now another great site, if you want to book Star Alliance metal, is Avianca. Now Avianca it's a little wonky. I didn't realize it, but if you want to go to their redemption part, you definitely want to go to lifemiles.com. Do not go to Avianca proper. You will never find it, and you'll end up just aggravated. So now here we go. We are on Avianca. We are going to do the same exact trip. So we're going to do EWR, LHR. Of course, we want one to double. We want business or first because we're high class around here. So now they have a smart search, or you can do all through Star Alliance. I like to, unless I'm looking for a certain airline of Star Alliance, I just choose the entire Star Alliance program. So that way they can give me all the metal I'm looking for. So let me redo this. Do this here. We're good on this, a one-way. And like I've always said, it's best to book separate one-ways. They tend to have more reward space and more reward availability. So we will click down to January. Now, mind you, normally I don't like to use life miles unless I'm booking something the week of. So I'm just going to give you an example. January 9th, they're probably not even going to have anything. Even though this is a reward. Uh-oh, they do have one. So now, as you can see here, in economy, they can get you there. So now let's look for our flight, which is 6 p.m. to, I believe the United flight was 6 p.m. to 6:20. And boom, here we go. On Life Miles, we found a diamond in the rough. I sincerely think we found the best redemption, which is 60,000 Avianca Life Miles plus $26.70. Me personally, I would call this the best redemption out of all three because you split the baby between the United 80K redemption with the $5.60 and the Air Canada redemption with 60,000 miles and $40 US. So now one of Life Miles website's superpowers is that it is great for booking very short notice international flights. Now, normally what will happen is you'll get blue dots on here that will show you availability. But since we're on the 12th, let's go out a week to the 19th and see what we can find to get us there on short notice. So I gotta wait for that to go. Uh-oh. I guess I spoke too soon because normally this is where I go for short notice. So they have nothing available. Let's see what they have for the next week. Let's see if they're going to make me look crazy. Okay, it looks like their nearest availability, here's a blue dot, is July 3rd. And as you can see here, direct United business class flights, standard 60,000 points, 2670. And this is searching all Star Alliance metal. You can fly Scandinavian for much cheaper as far as points go, actually with no points and with no taxes and fees attached. So these are just examples. These are just examples of the same flight over three redemption sites and how the prices vary. So let's see what Gumbo said. Chat being in chat, giving all the secrets. I love my life miles. Hey man, they're awesome. Just make sure you're going to the flight booked on life miles. The change fees are high. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, Gumbo gave us some game. If you make this flight, don't change it. Make sure you can make it because you don't want to pay those fees. So, Edris Mata, hey, welcome. And I think Sledge is in the building too. If I do recall, I think I saw Mr. Do Your Research in here. So it looks like Edris got a good redemption with life miles as opposed to United and Air Canada. So were you able to book that from Houston and Toronto? Let me know because I know Houston's a United hub, so that would definitely be clutch. So I just wanted to show you that flight over three Star Alliance carriers, right? So let's see here. Let's do the same flight. Let's go to One World. I'm gonna leave these tabs open, so if I need to flip back to a tab, please let me know. So what we'll do here is AmericanAirlines.com. Let's see what we got going on. So within this, we will look for. Now, the reason we are doing EWR, which is Newark, to London Heathrow, is that those are the ones that were requested in the chat. If you want anything different, by all means, speak up. So we're going to depart. Let's do the 3 month. So we'll do September 12th. We'll have a look at this here. Redeem miles. Search. All right. So now when we're looking at September 12th here, let's order the business. So September the 12th can get you there for 57,000 American Airlines miles. But if you notice here, in very small print, the fees are $731. So this is exactly what we're trying to avoid. And what is the carrier for that? That is Republic Airways, and this is operated by British Airways. So now, if you go through the flight actually operated by the American carrier, you will notice that the points almost triple, but the fees go down exponentially to $5.60. So now everyone operated by American Air, AA100 on a Boeing 777, AA106 on a Boeing 777, all of them have higher fees, but higher point redemption values, but much lower fees. So this is just in case you're a One World devotee. It's not really my thing, but some people, they have their favorites. So let's have a look. And also, this is a powerful tool here, their calendar, and you can actually filter through flights. So now you can actually look here, show all classes, I only want business, and they'll tailor the calendar for you. So Joshua Anderson asks, what do you recommend for flights to Caribbean islands such as PR, Jamaica, or Dominican Republic? I'm based out of Denver. Okay, well, you have connection flights that you're probably going to make before you leave the country. And also, if you are not averse to flying American Airlines, they have a major hub in Miami, which is a great connector for all things in the southern half of our hemisphere here, going towards the Caribbean, Trinidad, the Greater and the Lesser Antilles, and even into South America. Even though you got some flights from Delta out of Atlanta as well, but Miami would be a great place to connect through, even if you want to position there, because they have a lot of accommodations. So that's what I would suggest. And Denver is, I believe, a United hub. Yeah, Denver's a United hub. So we'll actually cycle back to that. So now back to this American Airlines calendar. This is what makes searching for award space on American Airlines really easy, because you can filter it through and they'll show you what you have going on. So like, see here, this, what they'll do is they'll order it by the lowest points value, but that's the highest tax value. So you can check this date and double check. So let's go out to 6 months ahead like I did before. Let's go to January. So January 9th has business class for 57,000 points plus an ungodly amount of money that we're not going to spend. I'm just not going to do this. But they also actually have British Airways first class availability for those same high fees. So let's reorder this. Now, see, when you get to the American-based carriers, your points values go up exponentially. So for the most part, you probably don't want to use One World for this trip, especially since they're partnered with British Airways. They're going to want to either collect a ton of your points or a ton of cash out of pocket, and it's really kind of silly. Now, the only other thing I would highly suggest, if you really want to fly this carrier, you can actually fly American Airlines first class for 195,000 points and $5.60, and then you make your way back however you see fit. But that is an example of a One World redemption. So now, before I go on, so Joshua, let's go back and let's look at your actual flight. So let's say now we want to go from Denver. And by the way, when we go to SkyTeam, the fees are going to be crazy as well, because we're probably going to be using Virgin to have a look-see. So I'm just letting you know, don't expect anything much to be different for that flight. So let's use Puerto Rico, because you didn't give me a specific airport. I don't know the airport there. We'll use San Juan. All right. So let's keep it at 3 months out, and let's see what kind of connection Star Alliance has for you. So we're waiting here. Appreciate you guys for coming through, checking it out. Now, if you look here, Joshua Anderson, if you're still in the room, you can actually connect from United directly to San Juan. You can get there for 22,000 points in economy class if you want to fly to San Juan economy. There's no business available, but I don't know what other islands that you wanted to fly to. So let me flip this around. Let me set up this camera. It's going to be a little skewed. And I don't want to keep you guys too long, because I know what time it is on the East Coast. But if anybody has any SkyTeam bookings they want me to check, if anybody has any locations they want me to check right here, right now, live, you please let me know and I will run through them. The whole point of the MasterClass is to teach you that, A, there is a rhyme and a reason to how you travel. You know what I mean? Like going to London, right? You got somebody out of New York suggested Newark Airport as opposed to JFK and LaGuardia that may have more routes. But the fact is that if you know your hubs and you know who to book through, you can get to where you need to go for very little. We've already found that via Life Miles, it's a great redemption, whether it's 3 to 6 months out, because most people aren't trying to do this stuff within a day or two, for the most part. So the whole point of this is A, knowing your hubs. Where are you flying out of, or where are you flying domestically? What is the best way to get the best airline prices, and where are you flying to? Obviously, London Heathrow is a major hub for one world carriers, i.e. British Airways. And then also you have Paris, that is a great Sky Team hub. Schiphol, Malpensa, that's a hub. Trying to think. Zurich, Frankfurt. Frankfurt is a Star Alliance hub. Okay, it looks like Joshua said that's exactly how I booked my flight to San Juan in January. Funny, you almost chose my exact flight. Now I'm reassured I did it right. See? That's what I'm here for, is to give you value. And that's just on the United. Now, if you check One World, as a matter of fact, like I said, my arm's kind of tired, so I'm not going to hold the phone up. Let me go to One World and I'll see if I can pull that flight. Let's change this up. All right, give me 1 second. I got you, Edges. So if we do Denver to San Juan, SJU. SJU, September 12th. Perfecto. Search that. Now, like I said, because it's One World and it's American, you're going to end up connecting through Miami, most likely. I say that most likely because Clinton Douglas is also an option. But with that, it's going to extend your time out, but I actually found a lower booking for 17,500 points and $5.60 taxes and fees. These are some of your One World redemptions from going from Denver to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So as you can see here, you'll start in Denver, go to Clinton Douglas to Puerto Rico, 20,000 points, $5.60. So they have, they have comparable redemptions, and that's for business class. So now if you notice here, the business class is absolutely different, and I have to see who operates this. Looks like it's a 3-trip for American Airlines, but they may have decreased availability, but it's 86,000 points, still $5.60. So as we roll down here, for One World, business, 25K. Then business, 92K. So you gotta remember here, you have first class here for 27,000 points coming out of Denver with an 11-hour travel time. So these are things that you gotta remember if you know your hubs. You'll see here that it will actually go from Denver to Miami. They'll fly you back up to Orlando for some god-awful reason, and then they'll fly you out to San Juan, but it's only 27,000 points, and that gets you to Puerto Rico in style for very little money and very little points. So now we're gonna move on to Edris's question. I'm gonna put this down, and I'll start his search. Let's see, come on, phone stay. All right. Could you show how to go from Houston to Puerto Rico? Do you have, Edris, do you have a date? Like a date range? Give me a month. Or I can just do it 3 months from now, or 3 to 6 months. If you want me to do that, just put 3 to 6 in there, and I'll look at the availability there. So let's change this up. Where's my... All right, let's see if I can modify this. So, okay, perfect. I think I already have it. Houston, George Bush. Give me 1 second. All right, so I have a direct flights actually from Houston. Now, the cheapest direct flight in economy class that I have, and the only reason I'm even touching on economy class, which I normally don't, is because technically Puerto Rico is a domestic flight as it is a U.S. territory. But as you can see here, Houston to San Juan, Puerto Rico, 12,500 points, 12,500 points per passenger plus $75. Now, if you want to connect through other airports, these I would not suggest because you have to change airports. I've had to do that before. It's horrendous. But if you want to do connecting flights as well, you actually have these that are also flying for 22,500 points. So if we take the details, you go from Houston to Nashville, Nashville to New York, New York to San Juan. So I would probably stick with this one up here because it's a direct flight. And now if you want business class, what your trade-off is you're traveling all day just to get to Puerto Rico. Let me hold my phone better. You're traveling all day just to get to Puerto Rico, even though you have business class. So for this, and it being a domestic location, this is probably going to be your best flight. Get you there in 4 hours, direct flight. And that's just for September the 12th. And then with that, oh shoot, let me turn the camera around. Now with that being considered, oh, why does my camera keep doing this? Sorry. Okay, so now with that being considered, you have a direct flight, gets you there in 4 hours, very little money out of pocket, leaves you some money to enjoy the island, and you can get 2 people there for less than just about 25,000 points and $150. So hopefully that would help. And then also on the United site, you can actually tailor it. That was through Air Canada. If you want me to check the other sites, I can. But Air Canada gets you a direct United flight there. As a matter of fact, let me check the other ones. United. Let's go back. 12. IH. To SJU. Here, update. Exit. So now here on United proper, straight direct flight, I believe that's our direct flight, 948 to 319, 948 to 319. As you can see here, you'll actually pay, to tell you the truth, even though this is 12,500, if you want less money out of pocket, I would actually suggest you book this directly through United website, because you're going to get, for 7,500 points more, you're actually going to save about $70 US, which really gives out about a cent per point that you can save if you book through here. So as far as all encompassing, I think this is the best value on United.com. But if you're going for the absolute lowest points expenditure, you have Air Canada. Let me double check Avianca real fast. Remember, we're going to keep that. As a matter of fact, just to pare it down, let's go ahead and just put this United, since we already have an idea of what our best flight is going to be. So IH SJU. Let's change this to September. And I'm a big believer in flying on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because prices just tend to be cheaper. Now, some people say that's a misnomer, but I have yet to be proved wrong. So now with that, with Avianca, you have the same, well, not the same flight, but this is from, why is that? Oh, it didn't change the, oh, my bad. Let's do this. That was still London. That was still Newark to London. September. Come on, baby. Show me some love. 12. So now you have the same flight on Avianca, 17,500 miles, plus $26.70. Once again, you get to split the baby. So also you have other options here where you can make numerous connections. You'll end up paying 17,500, but half the fees. The only thing is you add 8 hours to your trip. If you want to save that money, I don't know if that juice is worth the squeeze. So Edris, I hope that helped out. If you want to look at some Star Alliance metal to get to Puerto Rico, and the reason that, once again, the reason that I chose those specific sites is because with him being out of Houston, that is a Star Alliance. That is a Star Alliance. That is a Star Alliance hub. So why would he want to go anywhere else? That would be kind of silly. So we want to make sure that we get you taken care of. So the next question in the chat is Joshua Anderson asks, do you find it harder to get big cents per point values on points when flying to islands? I feel lucky to get 2 cents per point on those flights. Yes. And the reason it's because what happens is once you leave mainland US or Mexico or mainland South America, these are normally short hopper flights. They're short planes, Embraer 320s or whatever they're called, but they're normally connector flights. So there's number one, there's already limited space. There's barely a jetway, and there's barely any cargo space. So there are not that many seats to really hand out as reward seats. So that's why you're gonna find you're gonna find it hard to get a lot of reward space there, and especially get like out of the park points values there. I'll do all the world. Gotta edit my next video. All right, man. Happy editing, man. Thanks for coming by. Edris, clutch always. Hey, man. I'm here to provide value, and I figured why not just go live and do this masterclass. So that's just an example. So let's see what else we have here. So I've come to hate editing. Yeah, it sucks. No lie, it is bad. So we've done a masterclass in points booking. That's just to give you guys an example. Does anybody have any other ones that they want me to check out? Oh, I appreciate you, Joshua Anderson, coming in hot with the super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. I'm happy I could provide you some value, man. Thank you so much. But here, like I should have hit up Tony and Anthony Venture and Calby and them, but like I said, it just hit me to go live because I just wanted to bring it straight to you guys. So we have some examples going from Newark to London, where we sidestep the super high fees. Let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, let's do this. Let's go back to Aeroplan, Air Canada here. Maybe a Pacific stop. Okay. Which stop would you like to see? What's JP, give me a bucket list location for you. You give me a bucket list location, I'll start it up again. And then this time what I'll do is I'll also include Sky Team. It's just the only reason I didn't include the Sky Team yesterday with the last one is because those fees on Virgin, they're just as crazy as they are with British Airways. Tokyo, Japan. All right, so we'll do a mix of Haneda and Narita. So let's do this. Let's go here. Now, for anybody in the chat, you guys got to understand, JP is actually in a very unique location where there are numerous New York to Asia routes. So even though he may pay more points because most of the Japanese carriers are distance based, he still may actually come out ahead rather than repositioning to the West Coast where you'll normally find much cheaper trans-Pacific flights. So here's what we'll do. Let's look. So let's start with JFK and we'll work our way out. So now let's do a one-way here. Let's do JFK to, and I'll just put Tokyo because that should give me both of them. Yep. So let's start with 3 months out, September 12th, and I'm just gonna search the flight before I, pick the phone up in my shaky hands. I'm sorry, I'm in Vegas and I've been having some adult beverages. That's why my hands are shaky. So I'm waiting for it to pull up. All right, so now we got some crazy prices here. But I want to show you all of that. So now what this search engine will do is actually distinguish between Narita and Haneda, but this is from New York. So let's order in the order of business class. So now, as you can see here, we have a mixed cabin, 76% business class for 87,000 points, operated by Air India and ANA. Now, ANA's business class is definitely something that you want to be a part of, but you got to find out which is what, because if this is saying 67%, how you find out is you go to the details, right? And normally it will tell you in here, but for some reason it's not. It'll tell you which one you're flying business and which one you're flying economy. I don't know why they're not showing that. No, oh, preview seats. Oh, the seat preview is not available. Okay. But that's an order of business class. That's the cheapest business class, and then it just gets astronomical going through Air Canada and other carriers. You'll see 450,000, craziness, right? So now here's what we can do with that, is what we'll do is we'll modify it. Let's say you want to do a position, because we also know of another Star Alliance hub, because we watched my MasterClass video. So now we're going to change this to Chicago. So that way you don't have to buy a transcontinental ticket, because New York to Chicago tickets are actually fairly cheap. So now with that, when we order at business class, now we start getting different prices. So now this one is actually a worse deal than from New York, because I'm sure they probably just have less routes, even though it's a hub. So as you can see here, ordering by business class, your flights are still crazy expensive, right? So now we go out even further, and this is still before we hit the coast. So we'll check our Denver, then we'll check Houston, and this is all before we hit California, since you're already in New York. So now as you can see here, much better for business class, 175K, but you got to make 2 stops, and you're going to be traveling for quite some time. So those are going to be your prices for business class, anywhere from 175,000 points a person all the way up to 400,000. But let's mix it up, because that's the whole point of this. And I forgot one other. Even though you're in New York, I did forget EWR to Tokyo, because they have routes to there. We definitely have routes to Singapore from there, so might as well check out the Tokyo routes. So it's the same one, Air India to ANA. So you would go to, I believe that's Delhi. You'd fly all the way over there and then fly to Tokyo from there. But these prices are still crazy, because remember, these guys are distance based. Now, I haven't gone to any of the specific airline carriers, because most people will use these that cover the entire alliance, and it'll make life a lot easier for them. So now let's do IAH to try to get you a position flight that won't take you all the way across the country. And out of Houston to the Pacific, crazy expensive. I'm not even gonna scroll through them. Those are just ridiculous. I don't remember if I did Denver, but I'll go ahead and put that in, because that is a major hub that does a ton of United flights. Yeah, I did Denver. So it's 175K. If you want to fly economy, it's less than 70,000 points. So now let's say none of those work for you. The first West Coast hub, if you want a position to go to Japan, first one I'm going to do is LAX, because LAX is a major hub for all three legacy carriers and their alliances. So there's no need for me to beat around the bush or, like, do drum roll please, because between LAX and San Francisco, especially for Star Alliance, those are going to be your best bets. Now, you'll see here that the prices are actually pretty high out of LAX. So really and truly, it's looking like your best bet would be to actually position to Denver and then fly to Japan from there. So let's double check San Francisco. Yep, Denver's going to be it. 175K on average for business class. That is going to be your best bet to get to Tokyo from from the US. That's via Star Alliance. So let's check. Give me a second. Let me log into I'm gonna log into SkyTeam. I'm gonna log into Virgin, because they also even though they're in the SkyTeam, I think they may actually still partner with ANA. So let me get that login set. What is going on? What do you mean? I have my password, all my good stuff. Give me access. Oh, this is giving me grief. Let me go to Delta. Guys, give me 1 second. My bad, everybody. My bad, my bad. Just had to step off for a second. Okay, I'm back. So, let's look up JFK on Delta. One way, September the 12th. I'm going to try to get into Virgin, because Virgin is where you're going to find great redemptions here. Trying to pull this up for you guys, man. What is this? Okay, so let's. Alright, that's annoying. But you're gonna have insanely high redemptions through Delta, and my Virgin is getting on my nerves, and I'm gonna have to reset the password because it just does that from time to time. But Delta wants 400,000 points for business class, and no one in their right mind is paying that. I don't care if you're only paying $6 out of pocket. That's just stupid. So we're not going to be doing that. So let's see if I can get Virgin to let me back in. Oh, and by the way, I hit a milestone, 250,000 views. It's crazy. Yeah, JP, I'm trying to get the I'm trying to get your I want to get your stuff rolling here, because I also want to give an example of a booking from Virgin. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull this up. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you. Thanks, JP. Appreciate you. So let's see. Account has been updated. Blah blah blah. Just let me in my account, man. What is up with this? Alright, that's me. That's my last name. This is pretty embarrassing. Can't give a MasterClass if I can't get in my account. And I can't get in my account. Alright, let's reset the password again. Okay, let's get this thing reset. But I want to give you guys some examples of SkyTeam bookings, because I normally tend to use Star Alliance because they are the largest I believe they are the largest carrier by way of customers transported. Let's see if I can answer my security questions. Come on, let me be great. I want you guys to let me be great. Let's see. Will that be great? I will not be great. All right, let's because my mics are on. Oh, okay, good. I just didn't think I'd have to do this because my version login for some reason just fell out. Like somebody hacked my account or something. I just have to wait for them to send me this stuff. There it is. All right, cool, cool, cool. New password. All right, come on, let me be great. This is why award booking isn't for it. Surely isn't getting locked out of your accounts and stuff like that. Everything was actually rolling pretty well when I was doing it earlier with Edris and when I was doing the ones with Matt, but for some reason it just stalled on me. But I will not be defeated. So let's go here, right? First thing we'll do is for the Sky team, just to kind of save us the suspense. I'll start at LAX since LAX is, like I said, a hub for all of the legacy carriers. So we'll do LAX to Haneda, which is actually also a very popular route. So we'll do one way, we'll do party, one passenger. This dry air is killing me. All right, so we'll do that, and we're gonna do flexible dates and search. So now let's hope we have some availability here. Because remember, Delta's charging crazy money to get you over there. So we want points, upper class, that gets us business. Because if we're not flying business, like, are you even booking, bro? But it looks like LAX to Haneda, within 3 months, all of that award space is taken up. If you go to money, though, let's go here. Upper class. So sometimes when you search on Virgin, sometimes go into money and flip into points once you found the booking. As you can see, they're not there. So let's do Seattle to... And the reason I keep choosing Haneda, well, as you can see here, this one doesn't have Haneda because that's the route that they have here. Let's try this one. We're not getting any love here. All right, looks like Sky Team is letting us down. Let's try Detroit Wayne to Haneda. Oh my God, way to make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. So we did Narita. So it's looking like the pickings are very slim, even though on Delta you have all of these flights, right? So let's do this one straight from JFK, and then we will try Atlanta. So we'll do all Tokyo airports, one way, upper class, points. We want flexible dates, because that will pull up the little calendar if the days are available, which they are not. So let's flip to ATL. And this is normally the site I book my domestic Delta tickets through. So it's really crazy that they're not showing me any love here while I'm on live. Points, upper class, flexible dates. Let's look through here. And nothing again. Wow. All right, let's flip it out to January and see what we get. And here's what we have. January, finally, we have availability because all set availability had been taken up. And this is straight out of New York, JP. So if you wanted to go, oh no, I'm sorry, this is out of Atlanta. Out of Atlanta, they have 43,000 points to fly economy because that is literally all they have available as far as points bookings. So since that date seems to be better, let's get you closer to your home. Anything upper class? Let's do this. Correct the item indicated. Oh. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so now when we go to Virgin Atlantic out of New York, we get upper class, but look at these fees. And the reason being, as you can see here, 25 hours, they're actually flying you to Amsterdam and taking you the long way around. And that's a flight operated by KLM. So the availability is low, plus it is expensive. MFing expensive. So SkyTeam really kind of let me down today. Star Alliance has really been the darling of the show. So let's look, as Matt suggested, try and fly in blue. Give me a second. Oh, there it is. Flying blue, Air France. Boom, boom. All right, we'll do that. Let's log us in. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Give me a second. Let me work this. Let me just go on Air France proper. Let's see. All right, looks like Air France is showing me more love than Virgin was. So now we're gonna look at the same ticket. Let me put it in here. All right, let's look here. Give me a second. Da, 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 da. All right, here we go. We're logged in. So we'll do one way from JFK to we'll do New York area airports to Tokyo, September the 12th, and business. All right, so now if we want to look, let me show you some of these prices. Now we have a reward calendar here, right? Look at these prices, 370,000 miles per person. You have almost 1,000,000 miles, but when you put in this flexible dates here, at 150,000 miles, that's in November. So September is not going to be a good month. So as you can see, let me go back to September here. The lowest is 370. In October, the lowest is 536. So between November and January, January is when I like to fly. You got 159,000 miles going to Tokyo. So now let's look at some of these flights. We'll do January 6th. All right. Okay. So January 6th is acting up. Let's do the 12th. And their site's acting crazy as well. Okay, so they're showing me flights, but then they're saying that the flights aren't there. So for this one, I have to say that Sky Team really has not showed up for this live masterclass. One World and Star Alliance really seem to have much more stable award booking sites, and they can show you everything that you need to be shown. And Sky Team really just doesn't have it together. MR is in the building. You said you were in Venice recently. How did you like it? I'm going to Venice in January. If you could let me know how you like it, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, JP, I'm sorry, man. This thing's just they're looking crazy because everything worked on everything else. Let's try LAX. I'm gonna try LAX because I don't like to feel like I'm defeated. And it's not looking much better. Pretty much 159,000 miles. It's still showing no flights. So yeah, I'm gonna have to retool and go to the drawing board for Delta Sky Team to try to get the sweet spot as far as times are concerned. And I will come back to you guys for an extension for that. So MR says Venice was amazing. I stayed at the Hilton there. It has its own shuttle boat. It was dope. Which Hilton was it? So I can look it up. I would really appreciate it because the other hotel I was looking at is a Hyatt Castle something or another that I'm not remembering right now, like Castle Angelo or something like that. But I want to look up the Hilton in Venice. See how that is. So now, I've had you guys for an hour, or at least anybody who was kind enough to stick with me. Do you guys have questions for me? Because let's just do a little Q&A. Because if this is a masterclass, it can't be a masterclass without questions. So, do you guys have any questions about cross booking, the idea of cross booking, and how valuable it can be when you're booking your flights, both domestic and abroad? Okay, awesome. Hilton Stuckey, thank you so much. So now, with that being considered, does anybody have questions for me as far as cross bookings? Does anyone still not understand what a cross booking is, or how it works, or the kind of value that you can derive from being able to know your alliances and know who to book with? Anybody? I'll give you guys a few seconds to come up with any questions that you have. I'm gonna look through my stuff here. Amen, Matt. It is actually always best to have transferable points because you never know exactly where you're gonna have to transfer them to. So in some cases, if you do an open jaw or multiple leg tour, or you try to marry two legs, you may have to do so with different airlines. They may not take each other's points. Yo, Manny is in the building. Not really a big question, but is there a different process you would use for domestic versus international? Well, okay. So now, as far as points redemption goes, for domestic flights as opposed to international, what I would do is, if you book with an outside carrier like British Airways, Virgin, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you your redemption based on distance. So what I always do is compare the cash price to see if A, I have the cash, or B, if the cash price is worth the points that I may have to burn. So like if they have a flight for 20,000 points, but the flight's only $91, as you can see there, I probably have $91 and I can save 20,000 points, because if I don't, I end up devaluing my points and kind of throwing them away from my specific situation, especially even if it's 20,000 points plus $5. It's still, for me, the opportunity cost isn't there. So, Manny, thanks for joining us. I was just trying to do a little master class on cross bookings, like cross booking one carrier from another carrier's websites, taking advantage of using alliance bookings to use one carrier to book carriers across multiple carriers across the same alliance to get high value from international trips. So we're actually able to make a trip to London, and we were able to sidestep the super high London fees through by using Avianca Life Miles and Air Canada Aeroplan Miles, and United Miles. So we were able to do that. So it's been kind of a long video, so probably gonna end because I don't want to keep you guys forever and a day. But I just wanted to know if anybody had any questions about cross booking and alliance bookings in order to get the best bang for your buck for your points. So I'm also looking through here because since I'm always searching YouTube and I'm always watching everything everybody puts out, I got 2 videos I gotta watch because Tito's Financial Corner, he just put out a fly to Europe video using the Air France KLM MasterCard, and then Stanley Credit Card looks like he's doing a sign up bonus for the Amex Business Gold. All right, Sledge says, I need to look at how I'm going to get to Grenada later this year. Probably end up flying out of Miami. If you do so, One World is going to be your jam. Let me look here. We'll call later in the year, September, October-ish. And then also, you're here. You're in Florida. Yeah, Kayla, it's gonna be posted, so you can actually go back in the feed and you can see how we did the bookings, from what cities that we did the bookings, and you can see exactly how we did it in order to sidestep those fees. So yeah, you'll be able to reference this. So Sledge, let's take a look at some bookings out of Miami, because we're both in Florida, so making that drive to Miami, I mean, to save, what could be considerable money, is definitely worth it. So MIA. Hey Sledge, do you have a airport code for Grenada, or closest surrounding area? Because I can try to look it up now. Let me have a look here. All right, found it. Got it. Yeah, I got it, man. I found it. Thank you. So what I'll do is I'll put you 3 months out to September, and let's see what we can find here for you. All right, good. And we have here. Let me flip my camera. Oops. So far, out of Miami, you got a 3 hour nonstop for 18,500 points, plus $20 for main cabin. And that goes out of Miami straight to, I think it's like Bishop Maurice, somebody or another airport. If you want to do business class, 95,000 points. So as I order them, that's literally the only business class flight. But all of these are American Airlines operated. Oh, actually, you got a JetBlue one as well. You have a American Airline flight that'll take you up to New York, and then you'll be taken via JetBlue down to Grenada. 17,500 points, $26. But these are the tickets that you're looking at. So really, to go out of Miami to Grenada is not terribly expensive. The only thing you have to watch out for is your stops, because as you can see here, the travel time at 22 hours, the travel time's going up. So now if we go back up to the top for the best flight, the direct flight is going to be 3 hours and 52 minutes at 18,500 miles plus $20.50. This is probably be the one I would go for. So now, since we have American, most of our credit cards do not transfer except the Bilt card, which I know Sledge has, which I have, but I know everyone else doesn't have. So what I will do now is look up British Airways, right? Because if you can't book with American Airlines miles, we'll do British Airway Avios. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You guys don't mind my British Airway number. Okay, we're in. So what we'll do here, MIA to GMD, and this is for everybody, just in case you don't have a Bilt card or considerable miles. This is what you're gonna have to do. So we'll go to the 12th. Also, you do have JetBlue miles. You may be able to do that because they do have a partnership with American. So you may be able to use your JetBlue miles there as well. So now, unfortunately, the same exact flight, the same exact day, there's no availability on British Airways. So now we'll look. I normally do the day after and the day before. Now here's the difference. Now he has availability on the 13th. This is through British Airways. So now if we click this one with seven flights left, and it's actually way cheaper than American at 11,000 avios and $20.50. So now this flight is also a 3 hour 52 nonstop. So if you can stand to travel a day after, you're actually going to save a ton of points, plus pay the same fees in order to get there. So this is going to be your Grenada trip around September 13th, direct flight through British Airways. So they'll probably have some good bookings for you. Direct flight, 3 hours and 52 minutes. So hopefully I was able to help with that. Let's see here. Well, I've been keeping you guys. But yeah, that was a great example to go to South America. Right? No, it's not South America. Grenada's an island in the Caribbean. I'm sorry. To go to the islands, that's actually a fairly decent redemption. 4 hour flight, not too bad if you want to fly economy. I mean, if you want to do business options, it's going to be harder to find business because a lot of the times larger planes can't even be accommodated by smaller island airports. So business tends to kind of be, super hard. Can you humor us if you can book that same flight with Alaska miles? To be honest with you, I don't even remember my Alaska login, and I don't even want to bore you guys with trying to figure out what that is. Let me see what I got going on here, because I know I have an Alaska plan. Because when I was working up in Seattle, I used to have to fly their planes, but for some reason I have like no points. They didn't show me any love. So let's see what I can find. But if it gives me any grief with the oh no, it looks like my login was saved. Let's see here. You gonna show me some love? Hey, show me some love. Alright, let's book. Let's go to flights. Now with this, normally you have the Alaska Airlines Bank of America card. You can earn Alaska points with. I do not have said card. Let's look at one way from Miami to GD. Let's go here. Let's flip this. Let's go here. September 13th. Use miles. Find flights. Alright. Boom. And it looks like 1027 to 219, 1027 to 219. The exact same flight with Alaska miles is actually 17,500 Alaska miles plus $33 in taxes if you want to take that there. They also have no availability on the 12th, and most of their points are most of their flights are 17,500 points if you want to fly on September the 11th. And that too is a direct flight. So that is what that gets you. Now, as a little trick, right? Especially with my international flights and some of my aspirational travel, what I've come to start doing is actually checking Qantas, especially for Emirates and Etihad flights, because sometimes they will have some sweet spots there if you want to take a uber luxe trip to and or back from the Middle East or on one of their Fifth Freedom routes. So that is just a free piece of game that I'm giving you, since I've kept you guys for almost an hour and a half trying to do this masterclass and having the Sky team just utterly fail miserably. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 10 o'clock there, man. You guys got like dinner and families and stuff like that. I'm just sitting out here in Vegas soaking up some sun. I'm probably gonna have some more adult beverages. But yeah, that's it. So I guess we can kind of wrap this one up. I really wanted to go live because I knew I wasn't recording anything. I did not bring any of my recording equipment, so you may actually see me go live during the week to replace the normal Monday, Wednesday, and Friday videos that I do. I'm gonna be hitting the Centurion Lounge in Harry Reid Airport when I leave here, so who knows? I may go live from there. Like I said, I never announce these things, so if you find that you're missing them, it's no big deal. So let's see here. So Sledge, I hope that helped out with your booking. Just to give you an idea of what you're looking at for Grenada tickets. Joshua Anderson, if you're still in attendance, your super chat is greatly, hugely, enormously appreciated. Now, as a reminder to you guys, I am in Vegas. I've done a walk of the strip. I have, on my last live, showed Italy, the meeting place for the creator meetup, and I pretty much showed everything that we're gonna do when we come here in September. So if you need to see anything else, by all means, please hit me up, let me know, shoot me a comment. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, just not as heavy as I am on YouTube, but if you want to DM me, you can DM me straight via Instagram and Chats Money Minutes. So that is about it. It's been an hour and a half. I want to thank and appreciate everybody who came through. Once again, Joshua Anderson, special thanks and shout out to you for the super chat. I appreciate you guys coming and spending time with me. I'm gonna call the missus who is with my little ones before everybody goes to bed, so I can give them my love. And then probably gonna pick up towards the end of the week on the East Coast and I'll be back before my next travel trip. So thank you so much for everyone who attended this masterclass. And if you find that you need me to do like a static video, if you prefer that, by all means, let me know, and I can actually probably whip one together. So just leave it in the comments here. And also leave in the comments here any locations that you want me to double check. Any locations that you want me to double check for bookings, leave in the comments. We'll talk about it, and I'll see if I can help anybody out doing any of their aspirational bookings. But with all of that being said, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the live chat, help my thought process. Thank you for coming through, JP, and thank you for giving me your time. Thank you, Matt Clausen. Thank you, everybody who came through. It is greatly appreciated. And with all that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one.